Hey, Polish pals. Today, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, I was thinking I would share the kinds of polishes that made me fall in love with the indie nail polish universe, the indieverse, if you will. I fell in love head over heels for indie nail polishes, and I now have quite a few of them. One of my favorite finishes throughout my curation process has definitely been blue polishes with pink flakies. Now, blue polishes with pink shimmers are definitely up there as well. Pink and blue have always been one of my favorite color combos, and when I can get them in a polish, it's really nice. So that's definitely one of my favorites. Let me share with you all of the nail polishes that I have in the blue polish with pink flakies category. Some of them start to dissipate off of that realm and get more into blue polishes with pink shimmer and maybe teal flakes, or it starts to get a little bit diluted at some point. So I did put an end to it, or else I would have a ton of blue polishes with pink shimmers on here as well. So sticking to the blue polish with pink flakies type of category, let me just show you what my first love in the indieverse looked like. So I'm talking polishes that look like this baby. While this one is reflective and has all of this super beautiful silver super sparkle happening here in the light, there is these beautiful iridescent flakies in here that kind of shift in the lighting. There is pink and gold as well as blue and green in these flakies, and they're just so beautiful within this base. This is a Linby Designs Ice Cream Sea, and it does build up beautifully on the nail in 3 coats. Story time. This next polish is the polish that had me chasing. This is the first polish I saw in Polish Pickup that made me know I absolutely had to have it, could not live without it, and this is actually the polish that sparked my indie nail polish journey. This is Vanessa Molina's Glorious Sky, and this one has these super beautiful flakies that do shift from a pink to a coppery tone into a true gold into a green at extreme angles, and there is a shifting shimmer in there that also is the same color shift. This also has a micro scattering of linear hollow. Still to this day, this polish is still one of my favorite, most cherished polishes. This one does take 4 coats to build up on its own, so I will now be using a visible nail line blurring base to save this polish as much as I can, or putting this over a similar toned base color so that I can cherish this for as long as possible. It is just absolutely stunning. I love all of the elements and how you can still see a hollow even though the shimmer is super fiery. This next one is one that I grabbed from last year's Polish and Beauty Expo. This is by Swamp Gloss. This one is called Mercy Will Be the Last Thing on His Mind. This is a Star Trek inspired polish, so I had to have it. This one is again from Polish and Beauty Expo from 2023, so not even last year, but the year before now. But this one is absolutely stunning. It's got this foiled look with the flakies. The flakies build up super packed because this is just a flaky bomb style polish. Now I will say the iridescent flakies in this are in a extremely translucent base, so it does take 5 coats to build up on the nail. This is another one that will definitely be used with a blurring base coat to get a similar effect, as I don't want to use up the polish too quickly, but I do want to show you it here in its truest form. Same with the next polish, which is a 7-coat polish. This one is an M&N polish called the Fly, and this one, just like in the bottle, it is absolutely fiery with those gorgeous iridescent translucent flakies. On the nail, it builds up super packed, and you can see that it is still kind of sheer, as you can see my nail under the nail wheel, but again, I just wanted you to see it in its truest form with a visible nail line blurring base coat. You definitely would get a lot more of an opacity to it, which would also give a little bit more depth to the flakies than if they're just on their own. You can definitely not really see through the sheer part of the nail when my nail is here against the opaque nail. So yeah, it's kind of one of those super sheer polishes, but it would look gorgeous over any base or a visible nail line blurring base coat. This next one is another really pretty fiery flaky having polish. This one does also have those super pretty reflectives in a more blue tone rather than silver. I love the way this one looks. The flakies just scream off the nail. They just jump off the nail with how bright and poppin' they are. I love the tone too of the pink against this tone of blue specifically. It is definitely one of my favorites out of these, and it's just so beautiful. It is built up here in 4 coats. I do love the way it looks, but again, I will be trying to use this one sparingly. I've used it as a topper in the past, but it is super pretty and would love to see it like this on my nails. Oh my goodness. And if I didn't say it, this one was Divinity by Vanessa Molina. This next one is actually super perfect for Valentine's Day. This is a Sassy Sauce nail polish from Hella Handmade Creations. This dropped for the Valentine's Day drop, and this was a duo of polishes. This one is really beautiful on its own though. It builds up gorgeously, and you can see all of the colors in the bottle here, just how shifty and magical this one is. This one is called Don't Ruffle My Truffles, and this one has that super gorgeous shimmery shift as well as the flakies in there, and I just feel like it is such a different looking finish. The way the flakies kind of just appear and disappear and become ghostly within that larger particle shimmer that almost looks like glitters in the light, the way it twinkles and shines, it's just so gorgeous. But it is built up here in 4 coats to get that full opacity. This next one is actually very similar. This is by Lily Pad Lacquer. This one is called Madame Butterfly 2.0, and this one, I feel like it has a very similar kind of shimmer and a very similar kind of flake, but they are both very different from one another, and the way it looks on the nail is very different as well. This is also extremely shifty, as you can kind of see here in the bottle, but there is also those flakes that shimmer and shine and also become a little bit ghostly due to the shimmer. They're kind of there and then they're not. So another really interesting finish, but I love the glow on this and how you get that green look at the extreme angles. Super glowy. This one is also shown here in 4 coats for that full opacity. This next one is a Night Owl Lacquer. I absolutely love their polishes. They always come up with something super unique, and this one is a little bit different than the other ones I have here. This is where it starts to get off the rails a little bit. This one has these large, beautiful tealy flakes in there, which are super different than anything I've really seen in any polish before, but there's also a hollow to this, and there's also that beautiful glowing shimmer. So it's a little bit different because it's not pink flakes. There's no pink flakes here, but there is that pink shimmer and it still has flakes. So I don't know, it's kind of in the same category, but it is a little bit different than the rest here. That's where I could start really getting into just polishes that have the pink shimmer, but I tried to keep on track here. This one's just a little bit different. This one is called Spread Love and Kindness. Love the name, love the color shifts and crazy look of this polish. It's just so different from anything in my collection. This one also has an incredible formula coming in at 2 coats for opacity. This next one actually kind of reminds me of the last one, as it does have some tealy flakes in there, but they're so little and itty bitty. They almost look like reflectives, but if reflectives were odd little flakies rather than a particle size that is all the same. But this does have that gorgeous shimmer in there, and the flakies in this again are a little bit smaller, but they are teal, not pink. So this one definitely gets off track a little bit, and it almost looks like there is this gorgeous hollow. The way the twinkle and shine in there kind of gives that rainbow effect in the twinkles. So beautiful. This one is shown here in 4 coats for full opacity. Another one where you get to see the green glow at the extreme angles on the sides of the nail there. So pretty. I love polishes like this. And last but not least, getting back on track here, this is the only one that is not an indie polish here. This is actually an LA Colors Glitter Vibes jelly polish. So it is a jelly base chocked full of shimmer and flakies. I'm loving the bigger mainstream brands are getting onto what we love as nail polish lovers, because this is absolutely incredible. Coming in at 6 coats for full opacity, you could put this over a baby blue polish with a couple coats and it'd be just as good. But I, of course, want to show you the full opacity of all these polishes in their true form on their own. And this one is, again, meant to be a jelly polish. And I'm always the weirdo that builds up the jelly to opacity because, well, some of us just wear them like that. And yeah, you've got to see it. So yeah, this one is a 6 coater, but it is super beautiful and looks very indie. I love that the polish companies again are coming out with what we love. But that was my first love in the indie polish universe, the blue and pink flaky combo. So yeah, I do also love pink polishes with blue flakies, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day now, isn't it? I mostly wanted to share my love for the polish that got me into indie polishes. This polish I specifically chased. I searched and searched after I missed my first polish pickup time slot. I didn't realize how pre-orders worked yet. I didn't realize that you had to get them during the certain time. So this also started my love of polish pickup and all the indie pre-orders. But how did you get into nail polish? How did you get into indie polish? I would love to hear all of your nail polish stories. It's just such a fun thing to bond and see where you came from in the polish universe. I definitely started searching out different finishes and saw these polishes that were so different than the rest, and I had to check them out. And here we are today. Absolutely love all of the awesome polish finishes there are, and I've loved to see how they've progressed over time. But that wraps it up for this one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.